What's up, guys? It's Ramon from NyneBlockGaming&Collectibles coming at you with another review. Today I have the newly reissued Wolverine 096 from Mafex. This is our Tiger Stripe Wolverine. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you guys some disappointments, even though I was very appreciative of Mafex from reissuing this because it became a very expensive figure. But I really wish they would have redone the claw design, as I believe everyone did. And then the paint for the stripes, it would have been great to get that in black. But all they did was remake the same parts, and I cannot complain too much about that because it's easy for them to do. On our side, we have Wolverine with the X-Men logo. Clear clamshell up here that wraps around the front. You got a comic image as seen on the comics of Wolverine, Marvel logo, and then Wolverine X-Men. Here we have a posed picture of Wolverine with the Wolverine and X-Men logo. On the back, we have posed images along with his 3 heads and accessories. And on the bottom, we have our warnings. So let's crack this guy open and see what we all get. So here is your QR code to ensure you have a authentic Mafex figure along with your stand in the back, and you get 3 heads, a mask, claws, and then it's gripping hands for Wolverine, and we will get him out of the package. I'm sure I don't have any QC issues, and I didn't get Mafexed right off the bat. And the amount of refreshing I had to do, if you guys are familiar with how fast he was selling out, was ridiculous. I got one off BBTS, but they currently don't have stock, and I was waiting to get one from a Japanese retailer, and I eventually got one from Hobby Genki, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but I actually got one. So here he is. You see all the plastic. That's to ensure the paint don't rub. There that goes. And here is our figure. I'll get the light on, move it down a little more so we can look at him. Everything looks great. There is some paint splotches right there. There's missing paint right here. Little Mafex, nothing too bad. It is very tight right here at the shoulder pads. And you kind of got to move the joint in order for it to line up with his tiger stripes. As you can see there, I have them lined up. So there it is, lined up. If you guys want to get that, it's just a cover over the joint, so it moves around fairly easily. The only issue is how tight the peg is on the shoulder pad. It makes it somewhat difficult. So there he is, lined up. Quickly go over articulation. It's not too tight here before he seemed to be. There is some creaking, so watch, guys. You might want to oil this guy up before you start moving him around. So articulation, head moves down that far, up incredibly high. Double joint and neck and head rotate freely 360. It popped off though, but it will. You get articulation on the shoulder pads as I showed you. You got the butterfly joint here. Enables very good movement, as you can see, out of the arms. Let me back this up just a bit. Bicep will rotate 360. The pad is attached to the bicep, so it doesn't hinder the articulation there at all. We got a bicep joint, and this bicep over here was the one that had the issue. Even slightly pulling on it is not coming loose, so that's a good thing. On the original issue, it would pop out. We got a better shading of the arm hair, double jointed elbow, freely rotating wrist peg that moves front and back, and if you change the position of the peg, you can get the hand to go any way you want. So ab and diaphragm crunch get him looking that far forward. Back, even though it makes a gap right there, he goes back pretty far. Leg kicks out to the side that far. Back, hardly at all because it gets blocked by the front, but leg kicks up about 90 degrees. We then have a double jointed knee. Well, it's supposed to be, and the one knee is extremely tight to the point that it feels like I'm going to break it just trying to move the joint at all. There it went. It looks like it was quickly made, and some paint is a little deformed there on the knee, but now it's freely moving. And you have drop down hips, which I really wish Mafex would move away from. It's just an old style of creating action figures. And there has been improvements in hip joints that far exceed that. And then you get your bald ankle peg as well, with toe hinge, enables a ton of range side to side on a swivel. Now for our additional head sculpts, you have a teeth gritting, and a unmask with a blue tint to the hair, and this one looks absolutely great. So to quickly show off what you use the mask for, you throw that on, put it down in the back, put his unmasked head on, and now he has his mask draped over his shoulders, and he doesn't come with his claw hands on, so I will show those off. You get your plastic pieces in there. And there he is with his claws. The big issue with the claws is they are just way too long. The size of the claws wouldn't even fit in his forearm. They're longer than his forearm. That is one of the biggest gripes. They don't look good. They're skinny instead of thick like on the two other Wolverines. The claw design is much better on Brown Suit and the X-Force. But you can always buy customs, which I plan on, and I will show off in a video. There's Cave Collectors, I think is the name, on Instagram. I'm already talking to him about getting a pair. But regardless, it is a great figure. Now side-by-side custom, or not custom, side-by-side comparison with my other favorite Wolverine, is going to be the one from Marvel Legends. It is a great figure. Even though it is a Legends, his claws came out great. Missing some paint. On parts like the arm hair, but side-by-side comparison, they're both excellent choices for your Wolverine, but the articulation in the Mafex will trump the Marvel Legends figure here. As you can see, it's a more accurate paint app, but the paint apps on the Mafex are also much better as well. Now, other size comparisons, we have our SH Figure Arts Full Power Goku. You can see he stands just about the same size outside of the hair being taller. And then if you want to team him up with other Marvel Legends figures, Iron Man is much bigger, but Marvel Legends always scales taller than your Japanese import figures for the most part. And the last thing to show off is the two alternate hands, which we have here. They are just gripping hands. That's what they look like. And I plan on keeping the claws on it, because who doesn't want Wolverine with claws? overall, outside of the minor paint app issues I do have, the paint in general is great. I'm going to give that a 8.5 out of 10. There is some blotchiness to it. It could add a little shading, which is why it's a little lower. Accessory wise, wish we would have like slash effects and stuff. And the claws could have got shorter. Overall, gonna rate the figure 8 out of 10. I hope they revisit actual Jim Lee blue and yellow suit Wolverine at one time and do some improvements to the figure, especially the claws. Maybe some added accessories. We have figures like the new Mando 2.0 that have so many accessories for almost around the same price point as this Wolverine that they could just add a lot to it. But that's it for the review, guys. If you enjoyed the review, please hit that thumbs up button if you'd like to see more content from me. Subscribe to the channel. Helps me out. And if you want to be notified as I release, hit that notification bell. All right, guys. See ya.